Welcome to Why Not Us podcast. It's your host, Ken J. And today on the platform, we have Dr. Elizabeth Keith, who is a candidate for Franklin County Board of Education, District 3. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Kendra. How are you? And first of all, thank you for allowing me to be on the podcast. I really do appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. It's very important for people to see who you are. So it's very important for me. So this is everything to me. So I appreciate you. How are you feeling mentally?
I am doing great mentally. You know, today, all days are busy for me, but today's busy. I've been to church and I had a great sermon. I went to Shady Grove to Dr. Reverend Hopkins, and that was a great day. So, and then I came home and cooked dinner. So I'm doing great mentally. Everybody's fed spiritually and physically. So I'm
That's wonderful. So introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are, Dr. Keith.
Well, I am, as you said, Elizabeth S. Keith, and I am a candidate for the Franklin County Board of Education District 3, where I currently serve as chair. And by the way, I'm the first African American woman to serve as chair of the Franklin County Board of Education. And I like being in that leadership role because I feel that I have something to offer. So I'm excited about it.
Yes, ma'am.
About being a candidate because as a candidate with opposition, you get a chance to tell people what you know and what you do and what you will do. So that's a good thing.
I totally agree. Briefly list your educational background and other relevant experience.
Well, I have earned degrees. I've been to all of these schools. I've got a degree from North Carolina Central University. I've got a degree from North Carolina State University. I also have a degree from East Carolina University and one from Nova Southeastern University. I have I am certified as a curriculum and instruction specialist, as a secondary education specialist. I am also a lead evaluator for Advanced Ed, which is the certifying body for the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. And that means I just go around to different schools across the state and evaluate them with the team, but I lead the team. I take a team of teachers and educators with me, and we look at what the schools are doing, what they're offering, how they're teaching, and we make suggestions. Now, we don't tell them what to do, but we make suggestions. And of course, they evaluate themselves basically, but we tell them what they're doing good, what they might need to improve on, and then we make recommendations. So I've done that for about 5 or 6 years. And I really enjoy that because you get to see what all other schools are doing. I have done evaluations for early colleges, Wake Tech Early College. I've done private schools. I've done public schools. I've been all across the state. I've done complete districts, the whole district. And we just don't always just do schools. Sometimes we look at the whole district and we certify a complete district. So I've enjoyed that. I've learned a lot. And I'm able to share with Franklin County Schools some of the things I've learned, but not to tell them that you need to do what someone else is doing, but maybe you can get a nugget from that to make your program better.
And that's what it's all about.
Yes.
Being able to add.
And I also serve right now with the North Carolina School Board Association's legislative committee, where we make recommendations to the legislature about what schools need, not just my school, but schools across the state. And I also serve with the public instruction, North Carolina Public Instruction, School of Public Instruction, um, porter a portrait of a graduate committee. And that's what we're looking at now is what graduates might need in the future to be successful, even in jobs that they have not even been thought of yet. We're looking at what they might need in order to meet jobs of the future.
Okay. So why are you qualified to hold the office you seek?
Well, Good question. First of all, I'm certified in 4 areas of teaching. I have earned degrees, as I told you, from 4 accredited universities, and I hold a doctorate degree in education. Um, I have extensive training on school board ethics and leadership. I have traveled across the state, leading school evaluation teams using a rigorous process to decide what is needed and what they're doing, and what if what they're doing is good. Um, Making sure that they are adhering to the standards that we think are or that have been proven to be good. Um, we use the latest research, and I'm constantly reading about what is successful in education. I've provided input um, to the state legislature about the needs of the school system, and I've served on important on many important school process teams. So I think I've earned the right to sit on the board.
I totally agree. You do. So why are you running?
Okay, I'm running because I know that strong schools are vital to the community. If your schools are not, your community is not going to be strong. Uh, we need strong schools because we're a growing community. Uh, I can remember when Franklin County was just a farming rural community. Now we are a diverse community of all kinds of opportunities. And with people working from home now, it doesn't matter where you live. You could live in Franklin County and work in Seattle, Washington. So I know that strong schools are the basics for having a strong community. And so I'm really interested in making sure that we have very strong schools, schools that are competitive with any school in the nation, not just in our surrounding area or just I want our schools to be competitive to the nation because I know our kids are going to be global workers, and we need our schools to be successful for them to be successful in their next at the next stop in their life. And as a lifelong Franklin County resident and a District 3 resident, I've always lived here. I've observed and experienced growth, and I know that it is very important that our schools continue to grow and to be strong and vital in order for our community to be that way.
What do you see as three important issues facing school districts, not just in Franklin County, but across the state and nation?
Well, I tell you, safe schools are number one. People think that academic prowess is the very first thing, but first, kids and staff have to feel and be safe. We have to make sure that they are safe. So safety is the one of the main important things that I see. Um, Budget. We have to make budgetary considerations for safety, and we have to have appropriations earmarked for that. And if we don't have those, uh, we're going to be lacking and come up short. We have to work with law enforcement. We have to make sure our facility. We just had we just authorized a whole lot of money to be spent to evaluate every facility in the county, school facility. And that way we can see what is needed and what we're lacking. We already know that we have some things that we need to do, and we're doing them. Of course, when you're working with safety and trying to keep your school safe, you don't tell everything that you're doing because people can go around it. But I can tell you some of the main things we're doing is to make sure that our doors are keyless entry, and that is that someone from the inside has to buzz you in every time you go into one of our school facilities. That way we know who's coming in and who's going out. That is one of the things that we have done and that we're doing. COVID-19 presented a real big challenge because our children were out of school. And one of the things that we did was to make sure that every child had a laptop to take home to continue their education. And now I know some of you are going to say, well, for some, that didn't make any difference because they didn't have internet. but we have provided hot spots in the places that kids were not able to connect. But what we have to do, and what we're going to work with the county and the state and the federal folk, is to get connectivity for all of our kids, even in the rural areas. It used to be that you didn't have electricity everywhere. Now, no one thinks about not having electricity. I mean, you just walk in and you turn your lights on. Well, that's what I'd like to see for internet connectivity. Just go in and sit to your computer and you got it. You don't even think about it. There's certain things you shouldn't think about. Children shouldn't have to think, and families shouldn't have to think about whether they're going to be connected to the internet or not, because it should be just like electricity. It's everywhere. So that's my one of my main objectives, is to make sure that we have connectivity. And then we got to make sure that we add um, additional support for our kids. They were out for a year, a little over a year, and they lost some things. They lost social skills. They lost um, some face-to-face contact with teachers, which is what some children need. Some children do not need that. They can learn on their own. But some children need to have a teacher in front of them, helping them and talking to them. And so we're going to add some additional support, especially during the summer. We've got summer programs lined up for every child to have the opportunity to get it in K through 12. That doesn't mean everyone is going to take advantage of it. Some kids might not even need it, but for those who do, we're going to have those programs available for them at the schools during the summer in various intervals. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's important. Just being able to um, have the way that you adapted, with COVID-19, and making sure that kids are okay. That's key. You know, so you just adapting to everything. That's everything. If selected, what policies would you support?
Okay. I would support policies that make sure that children are safe, first of all. I would support policies that whether kids want to go on into the military, whether they want to go to work right after school, or whether they want to go to a 4-year college. Now, a lot of people think that some of us might say that every child should go to a 4-year college. That's not my thought. My thought is that you ought to be able to be prepared to go there if you'd like to from high school. But if you don't want to go there, you can go to community college, you can go straight to work, you can go to the military, because everyone doesn't want to go to a 4-year college and shouldn't be made to go if that's not what they want. But they should have the skills to go if they want to go. But the same skills you need to go to a college, you need those same skills to go to work. You need those skills to go to the military. So we want to fully prepare all of our kids or all of our students when they leave high school, want them prepared to go. But we want them to be prepared to do whatever they want to do successfully. Because sometimes you decide that you don't want to go to college right after high school. You might want to go to work. And then you get there and you say, well, I think I might want to go to college. But we don't want you to not have had the courses that you needed to go if you want to go later on. But we still don't want to say that you have to go. You have to do this to go to college. We'll prepare you to go. But if you decide that you want to do something else, you'll be prepared to do that as well.
What programs will be in place to help students who are behind because of the time they missed to COVID?
Boy, we have a lot of programs in place. Um, One of the things that we have, it's a lot of different programs, and parents of children will recognize them. We have Decodables, we have iReady, we have a program made by Hegarty. These are programs that work with kids from K through 12. They're different courses. Um, The decodables, all schools will have access to the Flyleaf decodables text in 22-23, and have materials for we have materials for grades K through 3. However, this resource can be utilized for grades K through 5. If kids are behind, they can also use these. These are for kids who are struggling with their foundational literacy skills, and all teachers will be have access to those, and the kids will have access to that. And then, of course, the iReady program, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with. And this program will continue to be utilized in grades K through 8 for math and K 4 through 8 for reading. And we're going to do some different kinds of things next year for math and reading. We have AIG, which is academically gifted program, and we'll have academically gifted separated in the 3 areas really. You'll have the one academically gifted in math, academically gifted in reading, and then you'll be have academically gifted in both. And we've also been in discussion of having academically gifted, or not academically, but gifted in the cultural arts like music and band and drawing, drama. So those are the things that we're looking forward to doing. We've not done it yet, but those are the things that we're talking about doing in the future, because you can be academically or gifted like you, Kendra. You're gifted in talking to the public. You're gifted in doing your podcast. And I'm sure you're going to be a leader in that area, because this is kind of a new area. What are you doing with LJ? Tell me.
So LJ asked me actually this afternoon, could he do a podcast? And I was like, you gotta wait because I have to come on with you. So LJ is very creative. That's why I smiled when you said about drawing and different things like that. Yes, he's good at math and reading, but he loves the other things like art. So that's key. So I smile because it's creative minds out here.
Yes. And that's
So
what I say about we're preparing children and students for jobs that are not yet known. Because I'm sure when you graduated, were they doing a lot of podcasts then?
I didn't even when I graduated in sociology, but I should have graduated in mass communications, but I didn't like the teacher. So that's another day, another story. But no, not that much about podcasting. No.
No. So that's what I'm saying. And so these are the kinds of students that we want. We want to prepare students to venture out and to do things that are not even thought of yet. And we want to support them in it.
That's everything. That's really everything. What are some of the most recent accomplishments of which you are most proud?
Well, um, one of the things that we've done is to approve additional pay for teachers and staff. Up until 2 years ago, I think we did. That's when we started looking at the pay scale, and we looked at the pay scale not only for teachers but for also for the non-certified staff, the custodians, the cafeteria workers, the secretaries, everyone, because it takes all of these people to make a school system work, and we understand that. I understand that. The school system cannot work. If you go into the school and there's no toilet paper in the bathroom, I would think you might want to close down for that day, because you've got to have these people doing that kind of work, and it's all very important work. If you don't have food, you really can't learn, because you're hungry. So we need our cafeteria workers, or nutritional staff is what I like to call them. But all of those people, we looked at the pay scale for each one of those people, or each one of our staff, and tried to determine where they were um, on two levels in relation to where other people in the same or similar jobs were on the pay scale and how long they've been here. And then we looked to see if we could, what we could do. And we got everyone on a great pay scale, a good pay scale. I won't say great, a good pay scale. And almost everybody uh, pay increased. So that was really a good thing that I'm excited for. And now for this year, the 22-23, we're going to do a continuation of bus drivers getting $1,000 supplement, teachers additional duty pay for giving up planning periods for classes. We're going to increase our substitute teacher pay by $20 extra per day, and $101. That means $101 for non-certified, and for people who are certified, $125 a day. So that's really good. What else are we going to do? We're talking about giving our math teachers an additional $4,000 for teaching. It's so very difficult to get math teachers. So if you know anybody that's teaching math, send them our way because they will get a $4,000 bonus. It was just approved last meeting we had that we would give them that $4,000 bonus for coming to Franklin County to teach. And not only will they get it, the teachers that are here will get it as well. Because I don't think that we ought to bring someone in giving them that and not pay any attention to our teachers that are here. So we're going to do it for both of them. So I'm proud of that. I'm also proud of the new athletic complex at Lewisburg High School. Our kids are very transient. We have kids that go from Bunn to Lewisburg or Lewisburg to Franklinton. And so we wanted them to have at Lewisburg a facility that was comparable to the facilities that they have at Franklinton and Bunn. Because if a kid leaves Bunn and comes to Lewisburg, there's no track. The football field is not in good shape. That's not going to be real good. So we have facilities at all three high schools that are comparable to each other, and we're very proud of the one at Lewisburg High School. And I'm also proud that Lewisburg High School now has a STEM, is considered a STEM school. And that means science, technology, engineering, and math is taught in every grade level, and it's touched upon in every subject. So we're proud of that. There's so many things I'm proud of about Franklin County Schools. I love Franklin County Schools. I like to see them flourish. I like to see the people that we have. I like to see them promoted and just doing well. And I like to see our students doing well. And we have some really good students who really go on to do great things, like you, Kendra.
Listen, I'm over here smiling because you talking about the custodian, you talking about the cafeteria worker, you talking about the bus drivers. Like they matter. So that's everything. So I'm excited to, you got my vote. So I'm excited about that for real because a lot of people they get left off, and just to hear that the substitute teacher is gonna get paid more, everything, that's excellent. Okay. So why should voters select you as their representative?
Okay. Why should they select me as their representative? I understand the school board's function. It is directly, it's directly, it directly impacts the overall growth and improvement of the school system. Now, our job is not to go into schools and to tell principals and teachers what to do. Can you imagine seven folk going in with seven different ideas and telling them what to do? Our job is operational and oversight. Now, we have it's not operational. I'm sorry, it is not operational, but rather oversight. Um, we hire the superintendent. We sign off on everybody else, but we only hire the superintendent, and we let the superintendent know what we think needs to be done. We do a strategic plan, and that plan tells us our goals. It doesn't tell you how you're going to get there, but it gives you the overall flavor of what should happen in the school system. And that's what we do. And if it doesn't happen, then we have to go to the superintendent. Now, if I get word that a principal or a teacher is not doing what they need to do, or if something is going wrong, I'm not going to that principal or teacher. I'm going to the superintendent. And then it's going to be her job to go check on what I've told her. We can't go in the schools. That would not be fair, to go into the schools to try to tell everybody what we think is the right thing to do, because what I think might not always be the right thing. And that's why we have a 7-member board. We work together, and it has to be a consensus among us as to what should happen. One person can't make a decision. One person, if you have some good ideas, if you know what should happen, we can help influence. But you can't go in as a person by yourself and decide what should be done. I understand how the resources that we have. I know we don't have a lot of resources. We're a poor county. And when we spend money, it has to be, we have to look at it. We have to be frugal. And we have to look at every penny that we spend and decide whether or not this is going to be maximize what we want to get done. We have to budget, just like you have to budget at home. We have to budget, but we put the children's interest first. That's what we do. Even when we pay teachers, we're putting children first, because they're not going to feel good about teaching if we don't make sure that we try to take care of them the best we can. So we have to look at the whole picture and decide what's best, what's in the best interest of all of our children.
That's true. So, Dr. Keith, let the people know how they can vote for you and the dates, please.
Okay. Well, you can vote for me. Go to the Franklin County Administrative Office, and it's the old Walmart building between Cato's and the Tractor Supply Company. And early voting starts July 7th, and it goes to the 23rd. Um, you can go early vote. Just go stop in and mark Elizabeth S. Keith for Franklin County Board of Education District 3. And then there's voting day that will be in all precincts. You can go to your precinct on July 26th. And that's the last day. That's voting day. But you can go any day starting July 7th up until the 23rd at the Franklin County Office Building. And like I said, that's at 279 Bickett Boulevard, I believe, but it's the old Walmart building between the Tractor Supply Company and Cato's in Franklin Plaza Shopping Center. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to the platform. I really appreciate it. Like I said, you got my vote, and you have a lot of, you understand it. Like, you're an expert. You've been in you know what to do. So I gotta go with, I'm going with you. So
Appreciate it. I do appreciate. I appreciate everyone's vote, and I'm asking for everybody's vote because I want to serve the children. I consider myself a public servant, and that is it. I'm here to serve and to do the best I can for every scholar, because I call the students scholars. For every scholar, and all of them are scholars. They might not be a scholar in English or math, as I said, but they could be a scholar in music, in art, in sports. I mean, there are all kinds of ways to express yourself. And I look at every child as being an individual, and I look at every child as being someone particular and peculiar, even because every child is different. And we need to take them where they are and move them along. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to try to put them in any kind of box or decide what they should or should not be. We need to take them where they are and move them forward and love them. Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. Gotta love them and meet them where they are and accept them for who they are. Well, thank you again for coming to the platform. And ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Keith, make sure y'all go out and vote. So peace and blessings to everyone. Everyone have a great Sunday.